Alright guys, so I'm quickly unboxing this MSI B450M Pro-M2 V2 motherboard. So this is how the box looks like. It has got DDR4 boost, audio boost, steel slots. So essentially they are not steel slots, but they have got these steel railings on these video card protection. They call it VGA cards for some reason. So and VGA is actually quite obsolete now, VGA standards. Now you get 4K and 2K and 1080p resolutions and all. Anyway, so turbo M2. So essentially it means that in M2 you actually get up to 32 Gbps, speed, which is essentially PCI Express X3, PCI Express version 3.0, X4, 4 lanes of PCI Express slots. Okay, so quickly I am going to cut the seal. There you go. This is the motherboard layout. You have got one PCIx 3.0 X16 slot depending upon the processor which you are using. If you are using a Athlon processor 200GE, then this one actually operates at only X4 mode. And the M2 slot also is not turbo M2 because it will have only two PCIx lanes. So it runs at half the speed. So instead of 32 Gbps, it will become 16 Gbps. All right. So, and you have three video output options, so which you can actually use only when you're using Ryzen 2200G, 200G, or likewise those kind of motherboards. So there is the motherboard. Okay. There it is. You have the M2 slot here, and it's steel VGA thing. These are the two latches here, so they are actually protecting the PCI Express X2 slot, and this is the lock. So when you are removing the video card, always ensure that this is unlocked like this, and when you are installing it, after installation, just lock it like this. Two PCIx 2.0 1x slots. This one is PCIx 3.0 X4 slot for M2. It also supports M2 based SATA SSDs, and this one supports at least up to second generation 2600 GPUs. Why I'm calling GPU processors, and of course any GPU on these slots, any PCIx GPU, older or new version. Going with all the ports here, you have two PS2 ports, which is quite good. So you can connect PS2 motherboard and mouse here. You have one VGA port, you have one DVI port, you have one HDMI port, two USB 2.0, four USB 3.0, 1 gigabit Ethernet, and your audio ports here. And these are the audio capacitors here, which they actually term as professional quality audio or something. I don't like onboard audios, so if I find time, I'll try to review them. Now these two USB 2 ports are, I think, from the South Bridge here, and these ports are controlled by the processor itself. So there's no North Bridge on these motherboards, so only South Bridge, which has a very limited functionality. So these boards are essentially bare bone boards with hardly any functionality other than having these ports and everything to connect to. So otherwise you have the AMD processors as system on chip. So the entire system, North Bridge, memory controller, PCI Express controller, everything embedded on the processor itself. Right, so I think there you go. In terms of unboxing, you have got two DDR4 slots, so they support obviously dual channel mode, and you can have up to maybe at least 3400 megahertz DDR4 modules. So of course officially they don't support more than 2667 megahertz modules, but unofficially using XMP profile or overclocking, they can maybe support up to 4000 megahertz or so. At least on the BIOS you do see those options. Okay, so I think that's it for now. Let me know if you have any questions. I would be happy to answer. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.